blackmail, sabotage, and betrayal. The Amber Papers, today on Amber This Week. Hello fellow listeners, welcome to the program. Information reaching my desk is Cameroon has arrested a citizen of Norway of Ambazonian descent. What is the reason for that arrest? Cameroon is demanding the repatriation of Dr. Cho Ayaba, the leader of the Ambazonian War of Independence, back to Cameroon in exchange for the Norwegian citizen of Ambazonian descent. For many years, the Cameroonian government has tried their best to put hands on the leader of the War of Independence because he challenged the status quo. He told the people of Ambazonia, you can only defeat Cameroon method for method, block by block. For the first time in Cameroon, Paul Biya faced a major challenge that can cause the fall of his government and the CPDM hegemony in the country. Dr. Cho Ayaba is not a Norwegian citizen. He is a resident of Norway. As a European citizen, Dr. Cho Ayaba of German nationality can settle with his family wherever he deemed appropriate to settle. That is why he's found in Norway. The Norwegian government cannot repatriate a German citizen back to Cameroon. Cameroon is not Dr. Cho Ayaba's country. He is a citizen of Germany. Attacks from all over the place on Dr. Cho Ayaba's person. We find people attacking him, claiming that he embezzles money, takes the money raised for the revolution and war of independence, and buys houses. They forget to know Dr. Cho Ayaba has always been a businessman, having countless companies, employing Norwegian citizens, paying taxes to the Norwegian government. He is a self-employed man, businessman who employs people, even citizens of Europe. As we can see, the stance on baseless allegations of some so-called activists who work for the Cameroonian regime is baseless.
They will be crushed.
Dr. Cho Ayaba is the most honest and transparent man that have ever existed in Ambazonia. Letters that he wrote to the people of Ambazonia and to the soldiers fighting for independence in Ambazonia were forged by other platforms working for Cameroon, like Beta Things. We find they came up with other writings that were not written by Dr. Cho's hands, just to implicate him in this war of independence. But it still was debunked by all the nationalist activists of the struggle. Today, many people are asking the question, what is the true situation of our leader of independence, Dr. Cho Ayaba? Ambazonia nationalists spoke with the Chief of Staff of the Ambazonia Governing Council, Mr. Nkem Jinkeng, and he gives direct first-hand information on what is the situation of our leader. In this short interview, we will hear what he has to say about the situation in Norway and our leader's condition. Mr. Nkem Jinkeng, welcome to the program, sir. What is the situation with the leader of the War of Independence, Dr. Cho Ayaba?
The situation of the CIC has not changed since his arrest and detention at the Oslo prison. He's not been indicted, though all of the restrictions that were placed during his detention have been uplifted. And so we can now visit the Dr. Cho Ayaba in prison and have an open conversation with him without any restriction. That's the situation at the moment.
Information from the Vice President, Dr. Nyi, in his outing on the 8th of April, claims Cameroon has sent emissaries to Dr. Cho Ayaba to talk with him or dialogue on possible ways to stop the crisis. I don't know if that is true or not.
Yes, as stated by the Vice President, Cameroon is doing everything to reach out to Dr. Cho Ayaba, and Cameroon is using the Norway and its proxies to try to reach out to Dr. Cho Ayaba, maybe to find a middle point. But as you heard from the leader's address to the nation last week, he made it very clear that there will be no compromising with Cameroon, nothing short of independence. And so they may keep approaching but we've also made it very clear to them that they should return to Canada and resume talks that were ongoing in Canada.
What do you think is their agenda as they keep trying to reach the leader of the War of Independence? And you have just said the Ambazonia Governing Council's position is nothing short of independence.
Of course, we understand that their effort of reaching out, their agenda is simply to get try to bring back normalcy, according to them, because that's what they want to prove to the international community, that they are trying to talk to us, and so things are also getting normalizing back down in the territory, which is not the case. And as I promise you, the president is not ready to compromise an inch as long as the independent quest for Ambazonia is concerned.
What is the main reason Dr. Cho Ayaba was arrested? What do you think is the main reason he was arrested?
Good question. When the Norwegian picked up Dr. Cho Ayaba from his home, claims were that they were arresting him for possible crimes against humanity, and claimed that they had up to 51% evidence that he might have committed crimes against humanity as far as fighting is concerned down on the territory in Ambazonia. That's still not possible, as I said, up to now. They've not been able, the claims that they've been making are all frivolous and not concrete enough to indict Dr. Cho Ayaba. So the Norwegians themselves are caught in a dilemma, whether to let Dr. Cho go or go further to indict him. But indict him on what? That's the question.
Cripples and the Norwegian state prosecutor are accused by many as being an extension of the French colonial agenda in Africa. Many say it is evident that the Cripples is corrupt and the state prosecutor has been bribed by France to keep Dr. Cho Ayaba indefinitely incarcerated. What's your take on that?
Yes, circumstances surrounding the arrest of Dr. Cho Ayaba raises a lot of eyebrows. Are the Norwegians intentionally extending, aiding the French in their colonial agenda in Africa? One may be tempted to say yes, as far as circumstances surrounding the arrest of Dr. Cho Ayaba is concerned. We've never seen in a situation where in a crisis the victim is the one to be picked up first. We expected the Norwegians to be able to have press on the Bier government and possibly even drag them to International Court of Justice for crimes against humanity, and not instead facing Dr. Cho Ayaba, leader of the Ambazonia Liberation War, who have been doing all just to defend the land and its people. And so we really think they are intentionally extending a hand of support to the French as far as genocide is concerned in Ambazonia. For the question of the cripples, the Norwegian secret police being bribed, that I cannot testify. There's no such evidence of them being bribed by the Cameroon government, but nothing is impossible in this situation. It may be directly or indirectly that the cripples or the government in Norway is being compensated for the arrest of Dr. Cho Ayaba. After all, the Cameroon government is a plus for them. If Dr. Cho is not out there and active, they may think it's a way of quelling down the liberation struggle. But definitely they cannot keep him there forever. They will not be able to keep Dr. Cho forever. They've been keeping Dr. Cho Ayaba for the past 6 months without being able to indict him. At some point, we think the legal team of Dr. Cho Ayaba are going to get to the offensive. They must be able to show proof of crimes against humanity, indict him or let him go free. That is what we look forward in the coming days, weeks, and probably months. My personal take is that the Norwegians secret service or cripples are capable of doing anything for the very fact that they decided to arrest a freedom fighter, a liberation leader in the midst of a war is indicative of something not being right. And so there is everything possible that the Secret Service could have been bribed directly or indirectly. Contracts with Cameroon, one could be asking those questions. There's a big possibility that they are being compensated with contracts to carry out business in Cameroon.
Is the Norwegian government or people aware of what's going on, or are they involved in the French mafia? We all know Norway prides itself as a bastion for freedom and human rights. Do you think they are helping France in the neo-colonial agenda in Africa? Ambazonia, for example.
Well, the Norwegian must have found themselves caught up in the French mafia unconsciously. But as would say, I'm for pigeon, kumkum don't tight for their hand. They get hot kumkum for their hand. They don't know whether for chop the kumkum or for throw the kumkum. If they chop the kumkum, it go burn them for inside their belly. If they throw the kumkum, the world go laugh at Norway that Norway arrested someone without grounds for arresting a freedom fighter, and after a couple of months have decided to release him. So this is the dilemma that Norway find themselves in. They don't know whether to release him, they don't know whether to continue keeping him, but if they want to keep him, on what grounds? This is a French mafia, and they're in. The notion of the Norwegian priding themselves as flag bearer for the oppressed people, standing for human rights, has been rubbished by their act, arresting a freedom fighter who has committed no crime. For 6 months, the Norwegians have not been able to show proof of crime committed by Dr. Cho Ayaba. They've not been able to link him up to what they describe as crime against humanity. And so it becomes questionable if really priding themselves as flag bearer of the oppressed people is something what being given to them. Are there? No, I don't see them being. The Norwegians cannot pride themselves as flag bearer of the oppressed people and that they care about human rights when thousands of people have been killed in Ambazonia, and Norway is unable to raise a finger to defend the armless civilians in Ambazonia that have been killed by Cameroon, villages burned down. Where does Norway come in? Where does Norway really come in? And so I disagree with them continuously priding themselves as being the bastion for democracy and human rights.
Based on the situation now, from what you've explained, do you think that the leader of the War of Independence will be released anytime soon?
Yes, I can guarantee Ambazonians that Dr. Cho would definitely be released. It is a question of time how soon, that I cannot indicate. But as I said earlier, the legal team will begin going on the offensive for the Norway and its government to be able to indict Dr. Cho Ayaba or release him. We cannot just keep him indefinitely. And so Dr. Cho Ayaba has committed no crime against humanity, and so Ambazonian people should be confident that their leader at some point in time is going to be released.
My last question, Chief of Staff, is what do you have to say about Ngong Daniel's write-up accusing Dr. Cho Lucas of using the funds raised for war and defense of the people of Ambazonia to build a house or buy property, living lavishly? What do you have to say about that?
Yes,
thank you for bringing up the issue on the write-up made out there by Ngong Emmanuel alias Capo Daniel. The entire write-up makes me laugh because Ngong Emmanuel is so stupid and thinks that everybody is as stupid and dumb as himself. He picks up a court proceeding and gives his own interpretation of it and put it out there for Ambazonians to consume, completely changing the subject matter. And vulnerable Ambazonians fall for it without reading through and asking themselves questions. In the court proceedings, Dr. Ayaba Cho himself mentioned owning a home worth 6.4 Norwegian kroner, 6.4 million Norwegian kroner, which is almost an equivalent of $600,000. So it was not an investigation by the Norwegian authorities. No, he himself made that declaration in court and asked the court that they could even use his home as security. Now, he gives the impression also that I think a comrade Agbo Derek has given a lot of explanation that I don't need to be going into them again. Owning a home of 6.4 million Norwegian kroner is not a lavish life. It's a standard home. Or was Mr. Ngong Emmanuel expecting Dr. Cho Ayaba to be homeless? No, he's not homeless. He's a working class personality living a normal life in Norway. And the present house they are talking about, Dr. Cho Ayaba had owned a house before then. He sold a house and could raise sufficient capital to get a bigger house. And Ngong Emmanuel is so stupid to be talking about someone being unemployed, yet own a home. No, if you are unemployed, the bank is not going to give you the loan to own a house. In the document, it is even stated that Dr. Cho is a sole proprietor to a company. Ambazonians won't read this. I mean the vulnerable Ambazonians. I mean the Cambazonians who want to twist this out to please their own ego. I mean the anti-Ayabas. They are going to refuse to read the aspect of it that Dr. Cho is self-employed. And they go about propagating that he was not working in Norway. No, he worked right up to the last day that he was picked up. And his company is still running. So it's just a piece of crap that a stupid person like Capo Daniel is going to pick it up and try to give the wrong impression to the public. And since there are Cambazonians out there that want to consume such trash, they're going to immediately pick it and be making useless propaganda about it. Again, Dr. Cho, this document is a court proceedings with statement made by Dr. Cho himself. And as Comrade Agbo said, these are not petty things that the Norwegian investigative authorities are going to engage trying to bring out, probably to create a blackmail. These are declarations made by Dr. Cho himself. And Ambazonians should be wise and stop following Cameroon agents implanted in this struggle, like the Capo, that he has proven beyond every doubt that he is working for Cameroon. Ambazonians must stay away from him and get their facts and do their own investigation rather than believing in things that people write and drop out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Comrade Nkem Jinke, Chief of Staff of the Ambazonia Governing Council.
Thank you again for having me on your platform, and we hope we'll be having this chat again, time and again. Thank you very much.
Information is France and Cameroon are looking for a way to solve the Ambazonian question, for they fear that the courage that we have given the people of La République du Cameroun can cause Cameroon to split into two. The Grand North against the Bulu Beti who are in leadership in Cameroon. Cameroon might dive into a civil war that may never end, ending up splitting the country. France tries to play abracadabra in order to calm the problems in Ambazonia, so they can make peace in Cameroon. Information reaching us is France is trying to put an Anglophone as president, changing the constitution, replacing the post of prime minister with the vice president in the country. The stakes are high as Ambazonia forces keep hitting hard on Cameroonian positions. Ladies and gentlemen, the Ambazonia forces united in Donga took out this military position and barracks that was put in place in Gabo. The future is bright. This is Amba This Week. See you next edition.
2 pips of sugar is a water. It never melt a boy. It never melt a boy.
Yes, comrade, fun. All what you wake up right for update, so we write for update, no day for the document, so we put them. Now I have to say, a whole court proceeding cannot be only you say court procedure that kind of that magnitude go again as your 2 pages. May put all the other pages. May put if it be been at the past one there, they may put a more examine them. We see if not true way be the talk. Okay, I know what argue. But which way me I argue and I say, which way I click up there, I react on is not on this document where you don't come put and so. And I be the argue I specify. If you see where I specify, if you go read all my what you are right, I specify for the place where people say in be the work, then he buy house. Now I say no. Before other one car, I be don't buy house before this struggle one we start. The first house, it be done, buy them. That's why I explain for this. And once you get a property in Norway, it's easy for you to mortgage that property and get any other property or anything where you want inside this country. And I try to analyze or give some few points. And for the way, I tell say, the work. If you know the work, they no fit give you. And I explain for that clearly, say no, it be the run a sole proprietorship company. And when you look that document, look on top of 2024, you will see the name where they write at the Ankles Man for Attack. Another name now Ankle Patients for Attack. Another way that I know what they call them. You will say Ankles Man for Attack. It did it for up, say be the run. Why you say drive, that's it, run. That sole proprietorship, which means he had his income. And that is why the banks give him money for buy a house. So make Capo stop for the distract Ambazonians, distract with for inside forum with all those nonsense where they write. It has nothing to do with the Ambazonian liberation struggle. And by the way, when you look all those things, when you see for court no the good, court no, I don't know how I take the Norwegian court. Court no the good, they take haphazard things. Court get a specific thing way. It treat them a topic, it focus now on that, it look the law based on that and treat them. You need to go pick things the outside way, no, because I think we'll get lawyers inside this forum where they will tell they attest to that. Lawyers in there. If any other thing in the future, it will be another case where they bring it up in future. So when you see what you look the Kema case. That's I don't know again how he explain. So when stop all this thing, my brother. When I stop all because you know help with for nothing. You know help with for nothing. Make we come back to the right path. Preach the sovereignty doctrine. Make our people they follow them, and we get our freedom. When we go to bring things the our way, they not get anything for do with the liberation, it start distract us. And there my problem there. And when people they bring their private things so for here, then we will tag and say na Ambazonian liberation. Ambazonian liberation is not about all these things. All what it go on here is nonsense. It's anti-sovereignty, my brother. And I think call and say what the opium that way. La Republic don't put them for we. So more she don't, they crack our heads, they argue unnecessary thing, where they get nothing to do with our sovereignty, where they not go take us into the part where we reclaim our sovereignty, and then they go the triumph. That's just all that. So when Capo go, he write all that nonsense, way write for updates, you take quote, say how can a man who is not working buy a house of 600,000 US dollar? Come on, you think that the court is so mean to be doing that? You think that the Norwegian court is so mean? How can the Norwegian court say that, and then at the same time they are coming up with a document where it shows say this man be the run a sole proprietorship company? Come on, my brother. How would I look the Norwegian court no matter? How would I look am? Say now people where they don't get sense or they don't know what they do. Massa, when I give people break. If you want believe Capo, una believe Capo. Oya, na for na Capo that for una believe all two way agree. Okay, I don't agree. All two way Capo talk na right. Correct. Oya. Greetings, Comrade Capo. I think some will just end this thing so because it will not make any sense. For me, it not be the Ambazonia liberation struggle. But what I want to make you understand, I say, some of us no go school reach as we go, but at least when we write, we will understand. So when you come now, you talk say you say, I said. When you don't put that in as a quotation mark, you know what it does? The quotation mark, go read that. This is you put that in quotation mark. You know what the way I mean? When it comes to communication, or when it comes to language, or when it comes to analyzing a text. Some of us don't go school level now, but you know if you go put in quote something, and then you come now for down, you just say use I said. You know, no go be very careful. Oh, be very careful. At times I say when people read what you when people they read things they shouldn't quite at times, you know what I mean? I say they no fit talk. Now just say they try for pick one or two things, or just try for understand what the person they talk. We not even go for go write some kind. I hardly go write some kind of academic way. And I know I know so we dey plenty different kind of people. They the forum people. On ground zero, we go, we not even because communication now where you want pass message and you get to you target a particular group of people, and that why I see me at the like for we use while normal pidgin language than this foreign language we borrow. The things that they worry me, English that they worry me. You know, after many years of Norway, the English don't pass, they don't finish. But what I try to do now, I even the talk small pidgin. When I meet up, Ambazonia, I talk me a pidgin with them, so I make a try for the maintain them. You see, what you. No go one more continue this discussion. I believe say you just need to tell the people, say no, you make a mistake. Maybe you know they understand what the way if they on that paper, then you can write that quotation where you run. Or if me, for me, I understand you very well. And I say you want destroy contribution inside the Ambazonian liberation struggle. You, Capo, you want make the Ambazonian people make they believe say you see all the money when I contribute, you need to go fight the struggle. Leaders they take and put out for their private pocket. Nothing that way you the one make them know, and for so and as such make no man no contribute for Ambazonia. When you hear Ambazonia liberation struggle, may you no contribute. Now just the thing that way you put them for the people, but may you don't say we people that they understand you. All what you way people they go do it at their private thing is not the Ambazonian liberation struggle. And I think that they make some of you here more understand. We no go ever attack all these things to the Ambazonian liberation struggle when I succeed. No, we no go ever. We no go ever. And that's why when I see country like Norway still they behind the Ambazonian liberation struggle, the day for the Ambazonian. Maybe now just say the unfortunate situation happened where at least you put them in a position where they no fear of act some kind of way. You know, based on any country in the national interest first. So, but give you the right for continuously tell lies, for make people believe say the real Ambazonia struggle make them not contribute, because what you want now they take people their private actions them una they tag them as Ambazonia liberation struggle, and when now the real Ambazonia liberators they go out for acts for contribution, people they refer them now on where private people they go do, private groups they go do their thing them. So we get to be very careful when we communicate. Communication this way if it destroy a lot of things. And over there where you see me, I react on that. Make una no take people that personality they tag them say na Ambazonia liberation struggle. Make una no do am. A bit unfair for our people, a bit unfair even to you. Because where you Capo the one drag we go. When you go there, nobody no go respect you. Nobody. They go drive you set. Time will come, them go drive you. It be clean and clear. They go drive you. Their action, even now, they show you. Now you Capo can put Obasanjo investment. You know where Obasanjo want to invest. You don't go ask. They tell you where he want to invest, and then the condition where they give before they carry the thing, then go for Kribi. He finally accept for go for Kribi. You know the conditions. If you will be Obasanjo, where you think say will be shorter for you for do your investment farming when it comes to transportation and all other things, where you think say it will be very feasible for it. But this one will tell you, see, these people, so you won't carry we go this so. No will remain with them. Time go reach, you go be the first man where they will drive them. No be even their government, their people, they say, say we put your food, they go drive you. Was they no say na you? Them say go drive you. Mark my words. Anyway, this is now the senior advisor. Stay blessed.
Spokes,
So-
I just want Spokes. I'm really sorry. I don't want to cut you short. Please just hold
We
your
have
point there.
about I think the studio said we have 17 more minutes, so we have to
Let me
zone
let me
in.
let me add one point to this. I remember when the president won the last time he visited us in the US. I personally, I am aware of that. The Iron Lady within our organization, I think about 3 or 4 of them put together something for him to give him to go and maybe just give something to the wife for her sacrifice. You know what?
We're
You
gonna
know what the
collect.
president said? No, the president said,
collect.
he said, give it to Mezam.
Yeah.
She was shocked. She said, she told you came and said, PK, we don't even put this small thing, say more even give me president, give madam, me madam even hold on for just for thank you for which way it allows CIC for you do. I hear two way president tell me, I say, no, it's a president, say man, me the give for you for Allah. That's how that's the type of when you go deep to talk about this man, that's the type of person, that's the dedication. Even something that is supposed to go to his wife, he says, give it to the forces on the ground.
This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you're supposed to be doing. These are the stories you're supposed to be telling Amazonia people and not wasting. This is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what all members of AGOVs is supposed to be doing. There are so many stories of this man, of these forces, of their sacrifices, of their courage. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is what Ambazonia expect from you. This is what they expect from me. I'm just challenging all of us that we are falling into the trap of Cameroon to consistently be distracted. These are the stories you're supposed to be telling. You have stories of all your forces, the things they do. Isn't that what we're supposed to be telling? That's what Ambazonia wants you. That's what Ambazonia expects from all of us. I'm not criticizing the organization because I'm part of the organization. I'm just criticizing all of us that we are allowing ourselves to be so much distracted. We should respond, but not caught up in the drama. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, you make a good point. Before, as you rightfully said, I saw a hit piece that was put out by one-on-one audio speech. They were trying to challenge the president's financial position or dealings. I had look at how childish. No, you know why? Do you know why I want to bring this point out? It's because when you look at the hit piece, we know the hit piece that they put out. This particular one that came out that I personally took some time that they was sent to me actually. Ambazonians understand. Those of us living in the diaspora.
How is this right now related to this same conversation? Because we keep falling into the same thing. Because
no,
right
we're
now
not falling into the same thing.
We are in a beautiful conversation.
No, yeah, these are just excerpts or extracts to put it. Let me say this because I want Amazon to understand something. Because I'm saying this because, as I said, there are people that you might think that they get it. But if you don't pick some of these one or two things and open up their mind and say, hey, look, they might say that the leader has this type of mansion or build for 600. We all take mortgage from a diaspora.
No.
The leader.
Brother,
listen. I have to make this point very clear. Let me. I know you might say something, but before you counter me, let me say something. We all take these things abroad. I want to tell Amazonians because Amazonians might hear someone here ahead and ask me. So you people is it the amount of money that the house or the leader is? I said no. These are mortgages that we take and we pay like rent. That's the first thing. Secondly, going to one
tone of voice will never get your message through. I'm not kidding.
No, it's not a tone. I'm telling you that look.
When you take your time, let's say about Capo Daniel, you just take 2 minutes. 2 minutes of your time.
About him. No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about what came out. I'm not talking about him. It's not worth my time.
You just come out and you say, fellow Ambazonians, here is an information that has been published by the Cameroon government that they've extracted, coerced, gotten this information from the Norwegian intelligence services. This is private information that's supposed to only be in the hands of cripples. How is this information now in the public? First question. Number 2, every Ambazonian that is in the diaspora who has a job can have a house. So what's wrong with a man who has been in the diaspora for about 20 years, who has gone to school, gotten education, gotten good jobs, is a consultant to some of the world's top companies. Mm-hmm. He has a company that employs people. When was the last time you told the Ambazonian people that Dr. Cho has a company that employs people? I'm just saying. So sometimes
I know.
Again, my goal is to hold all of us.
No, it's good. I like it. Hold us accountable because that's one of the pillars of the AGOC. Let hold each other accountable. I like to take the shots.
If we come out, we get such information and we come out not with anger, not with frustration. You come out as a leader and you articulate. You rubbished wherever that information comes from. You speak from a place of clarity. Here is this man who the FBI, the US FBI, cripples have information of the company he's been running for years that employs Norwegians. A company that employs Norwegians. Dr. Cho has a company that employs Norwegians. They know it. Dr. Cho's wife is a certified professional accountant. You combine the two income, they can buy whatever the fuck they want. All right? You combine their two income, they can buy whatever the fuck they want. Before the liberation, Cho has a house, has a wife, has a family. The thief that can pay rent in Hong Kong couldn't buy a shirt, never had a shirt to put on, never had a suit to put on. They can't brush their teeth. Go to 2014, go to my Facebook 2014, 2015, before this liberation started. Who was Asu? I wasn't made by the liberation. I built myself before all of this stuff. By 2017, I became the first Canadian to be an international published author. The book that I wrote in 2017, within 3 days, blew up and became an international bestseller. Number one. I wasn't made by this liberation struggle. Our goal is to add value. Right? I'm professionally known, recognized for what I do. So I've already built myself before this stuff. Go back and look at the people talking today. Who were they prior to this liberation struggle?
Yeah.
Go look at Anu. Who was he? What was he wearing? Before they were talking about 3-piece suit. In my mid-20s and late 20s, I was already an established professional wearing 3-piece suit and speaking in front of thousands of persons. I know this man. He would rather take money for even a cup of tea and give forces to eat than for him to drink that cup of tea. I blame the AGOFC for not being able to tell its own stories. That's why we left this room open and we have all this nonsense out here. But fortunately, we have a very fierce PS. When this garbage came out, immediately put out a public statement. We need to do more than a public statement. Right. Here is why the enemy is mad. Their only asset that is left, we put a ban on him.
Yeah.
That's why
they're
gonna
work.
Listen, Cameroon is mad because we've put a final nail publicly. Their recruited agent will never be part of anything Ambazonia. You see, that's why Cameroon had to quickly go get those information, and then put it out and put that type of a sheepish write-up, just for diversion, so that the information we've put out will be forgotten. It's done. They can make all the noise they want. It's done. Dr. Cho, before this liberation struggle, created a company on the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where people in the diaspora, you want to buy a bag of rice, a bag of beans.
Abakwa mix. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? In the heart of the city.
Yeah.
He's an entrepreneur. So don't blame Ambazonians when you say that they don't have the right information. They don't have the right information because most of the time we don't give right information. Because we believe that just because we have an organization, people should just trust us. In the world of information, you must communicate 24/7.
True.
That's what Trump is doing.
True.
Trump is dominating global media to always telling the American people and the world what he's up to. He's negotiating with Iran right now. The US-Iran nuclear program deal. He's put it in the public. During the Obama era, those diplomats will go there, they will come back, you won't even know. Before they leave, Trump is telling you. While they are there, Trump is telling you. When they are coming back, Trump is telling you. If things are working, Trump is telling you. If things are not working, Trump is telling you. He's consistently communicating. So we must adapt and be able to tell our own story 24/7. This is the era. You don't do it, the public will receive garbage.
Right.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I dey talk say.
Yes.
I dey talk say. Oh yeah, acting the way they go year before last year and this year. When you go acting now, no man dey comment. because the population on the ground, they don't lost all that confidence for you. Because when you go out, we're acting. The music focus now on Ambazonia people them. Instead for talk the east of La Republic, instead talk the east of Ambazonia. You talk the east of Cho Ayaba, where you been in the first year, last year. Today they talk against you openly. Where yesterday you will talk in favor of you for everything. You will protect you for everything. This year they talk against you completely. Then how the population on the ground, who get intellectuals on the ground, how did they ever trust you? They look upon you like estimona, like if you were they repeated the struggle. That's how the population on the ground they look upon you now, Kapo, my brother.
Anthony.
I greet everyone. Now Baby Brown again. I don't hear Kapo the work I lie using media for the work I lie how we they collect money for people then for back and any money with the channel and for ye it again for the organization. Meanwhile, the organization don't count or can't see people that they contribute Kapo no they give the money. Now they prove this on money wa again when I feel look the date. The date for 2021 where Kapo will still be the DDC and the anti-kidnapping czar. He come for me. Can't tell me say he need contribution. He need contribution. Why they feel contribute for you? Because they don't take permission for egg of sea, they don't accept say me go ask donor them for money because he want enforce boya. Now so he talk immediately as sending 88 euro something. Now in that equivalence at that time for 2021 equivalent to $100. Where I send them for Kapo Daniel. Now the amount that will be sent over you when I see and they receive that, and now they screenshot that where he Kapo the confirm say he don't receive the money. If when I look the day will be sent them, the date where they on top that that's the date where they for that screenshot will be sent through Western Union. Now the same day will be sent out for Kapo he WhatsApp for asking if he don't receive the money and he accept. Now in that so for them. Now in that now they prove that when I say Kapo no they take money for people. Or Kapo himself the worker lie say no they collect money from donors then. That one I only my own because na just small money. Just imagine the amount of money away if all donors they want come out, they want talk now my own this I talk my own. Now my own this will prove. Now in that so for day. Me Kapo come out can argue we say no one ever receive money for me. Me can come out argue me say no one ever receive money for me. Because I still get the proof for that 2021. Now they respond that he no give na his name because he try to wipe out the scamming tendencies them. Some people they no he give na his brother his name and then his brother said no even they struggle. His brother no even care about Ambazonia. Yes, he give na his brother his name when I say no don't go of Shin. Now their family name that he own and don't Emmanuel Shin. He no the give na his brother his name. Because he one wipe it tracks them, and even I noticed that Kapo the ever bad for send na audio because he want delete the audios and later on so that one go recharge that audio then will not forget them. Now they prove this so why I don't send them. Now in this from the Western Union pay slip where he be receive them and the confirmation for it was WhatsApp why I ask I confirm yes he don't receive them. Now in that so for day. Me Kapo come can argue now. Say no the thief. The thief. This is what we don't want in Ambazonia. And we will not sit down and watch a thief and a corrupt individual for can spoil the name of the only organization where they struggle for fight. For can demoralize we. It no go happen. So even know what way good for you. Me just go shoot down. Me just go back. Me go shoot down for you. Me just go shoot down quiet. Because if not, it dirty them all go come out. All it dirty them. How did they look now? Only the side where AGOC supporters they come up for defend. They know they ever see Kapo own dirty. How they don't stoop down this low for castigate an organization where you say open your own mouth, the press them. They prove them for ACN TV. When I go watch and they now in this, when I watch and Kapo come up argue me say nobody collect money for me too. Because so individual don't come out talking you collect money, you deny. You deny for ye. Now my own this. Come on, deny. Stop these lies. And this your frustration. Where because you don't spoil for you, you want me free. Okay, because you are own spoil, you don't want me to then get freedom again. What kind of wickedness is this?
Did this? You don't just leave, you don't go eat. So, yes, the ACN Satellite. We just arrived Johannesburg now. So, anyway, on a link, you will find time to talk to her about that. But it was a pleasure meeting her, meeting you. So, I've just kept it civil. So, at least you can have your time to brief her.
Rating around those that are stronger, that are effective. That's what we should be doing. In diplomatic, the Ambazonia Governing Council is a member of the OMPO, the biggest lobbyist firm for people who want independence. The Ambazonia Governing Council have secured an endorsement for our struggle from a European Parliament that has representative in the European Parliament in Brussels, and we have seen the results today. The Ambazonia Governing Council is the only movement that have sit face to face with the United Nations to speak since this Ambazonia uprising started for the interest and for our cause for independence. We are still the driving force. We brought together the European Institute of Peace that was sabotaged. We have the biggest footprint on the ground, the most popular in terms of the population that came out of 1st of October, in terms of the physical cash that people donate. If those cash were voted, they are voted for Ambazonia Governing Council. Cho is the most loved leader that we have. Those cash were voted, they are voted for Ambazonia Governing Council. Cho is the most loved leader that we have. Voted for Ambazonia Governing Council. Cho is the most loved leader that we have. He's the most loved leader that we have, and his deputies are the most loved people. Call my secretary. Became fufu this small girl and way they sleep with egg of sea member them. Say me them became stand for front for cover you for your crimes.
Pa, are they Bangkok now for transit? That chap serious, so I don't know how to do. He's serious. I feel say the chap na big chap way go understand the kind thing. You know, we don't can see man one day if he say go marry. So don't tip it off. Tell you say this so. You know, so I like he, but you know, feel like your own brother will be for this. Say, I guess on Chawe we are there for Hong Kong. And but you know, say I like you too. But you want to tell the truth that make tomorrow me no enter shop.
Call my secretary. Became fufu this small girl and way they sleep with egg of sea member them. Say me them became stand for front for cover you for your crimes. Call my secretary. Became fufu this small girl and way they sleep with egg of sea member them. Say me them became stand for front for cover you for your crimes.
Pa, are they Bangkok now for transit? That chap serious, so I don't know how to do. He's serious. I feel say the chap na big chap way go understand the kind thing. You know, we don't can see man one day if he say go marry. So don't tip it off. Tell you say this so. You know, so I like he, but you know, feel like your own brother will be there for this. Say, I guess on Chawe we are there for Hong Kong. And but you know, say I like you too. But you want to tell the truth that make tomorrow me no enter shop.
Maga show na example for tramadol.
for inside our Ambazonia struggle. Tramadol na problem. Delulu tramadol. When I watch the video.
You know, right now, white hospital here, I not been Ayabachu. If the one man way the now when I talk Ambazonia, I say I will never even be your leader. I don't even want to be your leader. I am just trying because I see something where I get a own leader now. White now the only reason that I'm here.
This year, Maga show an example for tramadol for inside our Ambazonia struggle. Tramadol.
I have been appointed the ambassador of Asia and Middle East Asia by Sisiko Ayuk.
Oh, na problem. Delulu tramadol. When I watch the video.
That Regina Munde Elizabeth is no longer in the custody of the Ambazonian Defense Forces. She was left behind in the middle of a huge firefight. We do not know if she is dead or alive. The state of Cameroon will clarify if she is dead or alive.
Na tramadol.
We must make sure so we get that independence. We must make sure so we get that independence. Otherwise, we will lose our country. We must make sure so we get that independence.
Say, we not also one freedom that would use Cameroon their ID card. What about Cameroon their money? Nobody would use their money, would use their telephone, would use their electricity. You want a common sense. Maga show an example for tramadol for inside our Ambazonia struggle. Tramadol.
And I want to say congratulations to President Paul Biya. I want to say congratulations to the Prime Minister of Cameroon for this bold step.
Na tramadol that na talk for tramadol. Na talk for strong banga. Banga way come out for vehicle for inside banso.
Our general commander, our overall general in Mezam, General Cobra, have guaranteed safe passages. As I said, passengers and drivers will be asked to make donation according to their own will of about 500 to 1,000 per person to help us.
Na craze that. Would therefore this thing Anglophone struggle na specific thing the world they fight for. Not before can punish our people them.
I commit to Ambazonian people. I will never be your leader. I will not try to be your leader. I don't want to be a leader. Don't call me your leader.
What people they need to recognize, say this struggle will start where the lawyers and the teacher they start for 2016. Some extremism where they be done they exist for our society, where they be done get idea the way it not be mainstream. They don't take over the struggle.
On Sunday, the Cameroon occupation forces they attempted to what appears to be an attempt to rescue Mrs. Mundi Regina Elizabeth, who have been arrested by our forces for high treason and accessory to genocide. The attempt of rescue was irresponsible and unprofessional. A building in Chomba was attacked where we believe it was an attempt to rescue the subject. She was not in that location. The Cameroon military used blind shot very irresponsibly. It is not clear if they wanted to kill Mrs. Mundi Regina Elizabeth or they were attempting to rescue her. Whatever the case, any further attempt to rescue Mrs. Elizabeth Mundi may result to her death and will put her security in peril.
See, now an issue where I feel only call us in a tramadol. Na tramadol.